Hello, everyone. A massive, warm, and professional welcome back to day 19 of our 60-day spoken English podcast. Ishani, just stop for a second and let that sink in. 19 days. We are officially nearing the end of our third week together.
It's almost hard to believe, Sam. If you've been following this journey since day one, you've moved through the basics, through the 100-mile-per-hour shock of the real world, and now you are standing at the threshold of becoming a truly sophisticated, high-level speaker. Absolutely incredible.
Today is a very special episode because we are focusing on something I like to call the executive edge. You see, anyone can speak basic English to get by. You can order food or ask for directions, but to succeed in a career, to get that promotion or to lead a team, you need to speak professional English.
That's a great point. Have you ever felt like you have the right ideas in a meeting, but you just can't find the polite or corporate way to say them? Or maybe you find yourself writing emails that sound a bit too aggressive or maybe a bit too childish. We've all been there. It's a common plateau for English learners.
Exactly. So today, we are using our high-level sources, including the professional dialogues of the U.S. Department of State and the story learning success of our characters Natalie and Alice, to help you master the office.
In this massive 3,500-word deep dive, we are covering high-level office vocabulary, the email speaking version of English, and those magic professional polite phrases that open doors. So, everyone, straighten your collar, put on your curious mindset, and let's get into the business of English. Absolutely.
Let's start with segment 1, the office lexicon. Ishani, why do we need special vocabulary for the office? Can't we just use normal words?
Well, Sam, as our source Ollie Richards explains, the real professional world doesn't speak like a simplified textbook. In a professional setting, people use compound nouns and specific syllable stress to signal that they are experts. It's about precision.
Let's take a word from our sources that everyone gets wrong. Economist. Wow, listen to that word. It has 4 syllables. Most people want to say economist, but the stress is on the second syllable, economist.
Imagine you are in a high-level meeting about the budget and you mispronounce your job title or the title of your consultant. It disrupts the gist of your sentence. Let's practice that together. Economist. It has a rhythm, a heartbeat on that second syllable.
Another great professional term from the sources is technical assistance. We see Dr. Smith use it when talking to Mr. Wilson. Now, you could say help with machines, but technical assistance sounds impeccable. It shows you understand the structure of a project.
And speaking of compound nouns, the office is full of them. Development program, technical assistance, rush hour, birthday party. Our linguistic notes give us a very important rule here. For these compound nouns, the main stress falls on the first word.
So it's a development program. It's technical assistance. If you stress the second word, like technical assistance, you sound a bit like you're still learning. But if you hit that first word with confidence, you sound like a leader. Absolutely.
Let's talk about the word just. In an office, just is your absolute best friend for giving updates. You can say, I just finished the report, or I just heard the news about the merger.
As the sources point out, just indicates the very recent past. It's usually used with the simple past because the action is complete. It gives your work a sense of urgency. If you say, I finished the report, it sounds like it could have been yesterday. If you say, I just finished it, it sounds like you are fast and efficient.
And finally, let's look at that word Amelia used to describe Natalie's academic records, impeccable. Wow. Impeccable is a high-level word that means perfect or without fault.
Imagine your boss looking at your presentation and saying, your research is impeccable. That is the executive edge right there. It's better than good. It's better than great. It's professional.
Now we move to segment 2, the spoken email. Have you ever noticed that the way we write emails is different from the way we talk to friends at a cafe?
Definitely. But in a modern office, we often have to speak our emails. Maybe you are dictating into a phone, or more likely, you are presenting your thoughts in a meeting in a way that needs to sound structured and professional.
The sources give us a perfect email blueprint through formal introductions. Look at how Margaret introduces people. Mr. Wilson, I'd like you to meet Dr. Edward Smith.
Wait, everyone, listen for that duh in I'd like. This is the contraction for I would like. In an office setting, and especially in a professional email, you should avoid saying I want.
I want sounds demanding. It sounds like a child asking for candy. But I'd like, wow, that is the gold standard. It is polite, it is indirect, and yet it is very powerful. I'd like to schedule a meeting sounds 100 times more professional than I want a meeting.
When you are speaking an email or a request, use the would you mind structure. We see James use this with Professor Austin. Would you mind telling us about the process, please?
Remember the grammar rule here. Would you mind is always followed by a verb ending in ing. So you say, would you mind sending that file? Or would you mind checking the deadline? It's a polite way to give a command without sounding like a bossy person.
And if you don't understand something in a meeting, don't say, I don't get it. That's too informal. Use the formal versions from our language notes.
You could say, I beg your pardon, with a rising intonation. Or, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat that? These phrases show that you are an independent learner who is in control of the conversation, even when it's difficult.
And how do you close a spoken email or a conversation? Use talk to you later for phone calls, or follow Lawrence Windsor's example from his speech, thank you for your time.
Did you notice how Lawrence also uses the word sincerely? I sincerely hope that they bring happiness to everyone. In a professional email or even a heartfelt speech, sincerely adds a layer of depth that a simple thanks just can't match.
Absolutely. Our final segment is segment 3, professional, polite phrases. These are the social lubricants that make an office run smoothly.
If the vocabulary is the engine, these phrases are the oil.
Let's look at the difference between don't mention it and you're welcome. In our sources, when Emma thanks Professor Austin, he says, don't mention it.
Our linguistic notes say that while you are welcome is the standard formal response, don't mention it, no problem, and happy to help are the modern professional ways to respond. They suggest that the favor you did wasn't a big burden for you because you're a team player.
Here's another magic phrase, I appreciate it. Layla says this to Monica. Thanks for meeting with me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it is a power phrase. It shows that you value the other person's time and effort. It's much deeper than a simple thanks. It acknowledges the cost of the help they gave you. Absolutely.
What if you need to give advice to a colleague without sounding like you are attacking them? Monica gives us a great example. Well, I think it's time for a change, don't you? That don't you at the end is a tag question. It turns a piece of advice into a collaborative thought. You aren't telling them what to do, you're inviting them to agree with you. It's very persuasive.
And if you're 100% sure about your facts, don't say, I think so. Say, I know so. Monica says, I know so. Trust me.
I know so conveys much more certainty and authority. It shows you're an expert. And that phrase, trust me, it's a command form, but when used gently, it builds massive confidence in your professional brand.
Absolutely. Finally, we have to talk about empathy. In an office, things go wrong. People get stressed. When Jane hears that Helen is worried about an exam, Jane says, "Oh no."
Oh no is a simple but powerful way to say, I sympathize with you, or I understand this is a difficult situation. In the professional world, being observant and empathetic is just as important as being hardworking. People promote people they like and trust.
Absolutely. To bring all of day 19 together, let's do a high-level role play. This is based on Natalie's successful interview with Amelia at the National Gallery. Listen for the syllable stress, the polite de, and the empathy.
Hello, Natalie. It's a real honor to have you here. I've heard from your professors that you are very professional and hardworking.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Amelia. I appreciate you taking the time to see me. I'd like to start by saying how much I admire your recent articles on technical assistance for museums.
Don't mention it. I just finished a new one this morning, actually. Now, tell me, would you mind explaining your university honors? My team says your academic records are impeccable.
Well, I've always been observant and curious about art history.
I've always been observant and curious about art history. I think a curator must take care of a collection with the same passion as the owner, don't you?
Good point. I know so. Honestly, I'd like to offer you the job as our new curators starting next month.
Wow, I appreciate it, Amelia. I'm so excited to start. Talk to you later.
Wow, Ishani. Did you hear that? Natalie didn't just use words, she used power phrases. She used I'd like, impeccable, observant, and I appreciate it. She didn't get tongue-tied because she focused on the gist of a professional conversation.
We have reached the end of day 19. Today we learned the syllable stress of economist, the polite D in I'd like, and why I appreciate it is your secret weapon in the boardroom.
You are now equipped with the executive edge. I can see you walking into your next meeting with a completely different energy.
Here is your day 19 challenge. I want you to write and then record a spoken email to your boss or a teacher.
Step 1. Start with I'd like to inform you that, or I'd like to meet with you to discuss.
Step 2. Use the word just to give a recent update, like I just finished the project.
Step 3. End with I appreciate your time. Talk to you later.
Listen to your recording. Focus on your syllable stress. Did you hit the first word of your compound nouns? And check your intonation. Does your voice rise on your requests?
Absolutely, you can do this. Remember, as Ollie Richards says, your proficiency comes from integrating this executive language into your daily life.
Thank you for being here for day 19. It has been an absolute pleasure. Keep practicing, keep listening for the gist, and stay impeccable.
Stay professional, stay confident, and as always, happy learning.
Thank you and good night.
Bye-bye.